Hello and welcome to BP311's Weekday Sports Pick Show for Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. So I was going to do this last night live, and I didn't. And it was based off whether or not I was going to make a live play last night around 10 o'clock or not. And you had the Rockies and the Giants going. It was 1-1, tie game. I think it was the fourth inning, something like that. They had the Rockies plus 150. I really liked that. Thought about jumping on it live. I wanted to do it while I was on live, just for anybody who happened to be here live, so I could give you a live play for Monday night, especially after my Monday evening play got postponed, the Cardinals game and with the Mets. So the line dropped. To about a plus 110, and I didn't love it. And then I decided not to take it, and it's a good thing because the Giants then turned around and just smacked 3 runs right after that. So in hindsight, 2020, it's a good thing that we didn't do that last night. And then after that, I was going to do the recording for the show last night, have it drop this morning, and I just wasn't feeling it anymore after that live play went south on me. So Giants ended up beating the Rockies 7-6 in a close game where both teams brought the bats yesterday. We're going to talk about that later. I'm going to give you some ideas. Most of them are going to be parlays, and I consider them ideas because they're parlays. They're stuff that I am on, that I have sprinkled. Not all of them are my plays. They're combinations of my plays and other people's plays and things of that nature. Some of them are just good odds. I like taking a shot on it. There's been a lot of talk about parlays on these types of shows lately. I think those guys that Johnny Hahn wins, Bo and T-Mac, are doing some kind of experiment. I caught the tail end of their show. I went back and watched the beginning, and I haven't gotten through the entire thing, so I can't give you what their parlay experiment's going to be today. And there's something about the Reds, the Heat, and there was a third one I don't remember. Go back and check those guys out. They always put out great content, and I hopefully will be invited to come back on sometime in the near future to go on with those guys and do some more live shows with them. In the meantime, we did do This Week in Sports Betting, episode 6 yesterday, 3 o'clock Monday, May 16th. BP311, TJ Saltdog, and Corey Manicelli. We talked baseball, a few plays, a couple from each of us between me and Terry. Me and Corey talked in depth about the NHL Round 2 Stanley Cup playoffs, our futures, who we have, who we think is going to win. I did give you some series bets there and some bets for the first couple of games tonight and tomorrow. So if you want a little bit of a look ahead and some extra plays, go back and check that out if you haven't done so already. Terry and I talked about NBA futures, who we think is going to win it all, stuff like that, series futures, what the numbers are. Neither of us took them exactly. We did take some stuff. I did take the Warriors in 6 at plus 325, and then on the off chance that it doesn't happen, I took the Mavs in 7 at plus 650. I think those are the two most likely scenarios in this Western Conference Final Series, the one that I will be more attentive to as I fade the Celtics and hope they lose, but realistically think that they have a good chance of winning the series. I'm rooting for Miami. I've got Miami on a future that basically gets me back even from all of my NBA futures for the season if they win everything, although I don't think that's going to happen. I think no matter who it is from the East, the Western Conference is going to prevail. It'll probably be the Warriors, or it could be the Mavs, who I did double down on a future. So either way, I'm sitting pretty on that. If the Celtics win it all, I lose all my wagers on all my NBA futures. And I grind to a clover leaf or something. Anyhow, let's get into the recap. There's a lot to go over because I haven't been here on a regular weekday sports pick since Thursday. I gave you my plays for Thursday and Friday on a show that I did on Thursday. We came back with This Week in Sports Betting on Monday. I didn't do a recap there. So this one's going to be a long form. If you want the short version and if you just want the plays and you don't want the ideas and the parlays and the insight that I'm going to give you going into all of this stuff, go over to TikTok, type in BPTHREEELEVEN, all spelled out, BP311, and that's a less than 3-minute video that'll just give you the picks for the day and a very, very short recap of the day prior. You want the long form, you want the recap, you want the insight, you want all the stuff that I'm thinking is going into this, as well as the golf plays that I've got for you this week. I know I missed on it the last couple of weeks. I wasn't able to give them out. I think last week I did give them out late after they had already started playing, but the two guys that I gave you didn't start, or Spieth didn't start yet. I want to talk about that first, actually. Let's do that now. And I consider the golf plays ideas. I sprinkle them, they're fractions of a unit, but there's an opportunity there. If you can hit the winner, you can hit big like we did, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago on Jordan Spieth at 3,900. You know, me and Jeff both put $5 on it and cashed out 200. So you cannot beat that. The two I gave you last week were Spieth and Matsuyama, and I'm going to run those guys back. But let me tell you why. They're playing really good golf right now. Spieth just won. RBC Heritage is what he won for that plus 3,900 when he was really undervalued, in my opinion. Last week, at the Byron Nelson, Spieth finished second place. So KH Lee won with under 26 under. Spieth, second place, 25 under. Matsuyama tied for third, 24 under. So it was that close. And I'd like to be able to tell you what those numbers were, but I don't have it sitting here in front of me. So either way, I think it was around 30 times your money, either one of them, somewhere in that general vicinity. It didn't come through for us, but it was very close. And both these guys are playing really, really good golf right now. And I think they both have a chance to win the PGA Championship. So I'm going to give you 3 picks for the PGA Championship this week. And I consider my idea plays. We've gone over that. But the 3 that I want to give out are Jordan Spieth, Hideki Matsuyama, and I'm going to go with a dark horse of Max Homa. Now, I seen these yesterday, and the numbers keep moving around. That's how this happens. That's why another reason I almost wish I would have went live last night. But here's the thing. For Spieth, you're getting better value than I did right now if you go over to MGM and get it. I took it at 1,800. It's now at 20 times your money, plus 2,000. Matsuyama, it looks like there was an opportunity to get it at 3,300 at one point. I didn't jump on that quickly enough, and I took it at 2,800, and that's what I'm seeing it at over at MGM. With the dark horse of Max Homa, unfortunately, that's the one that dropped for us. I got it at 80 times your money. I saw that at one point DraftKings had it at 125 times your money. That was no longer available. 80 is now gone, so Homa is at 66 times your money right now for the PGA Championship. So those are the golf ideas. Jordan Spieth, 20 times your money at MGM. Matsuyama, 28 times your money at MGM. And Max Homa, 66 times your money at MGM. And from what I found on Action Labs, it looks like MGM and PointsBet have the best lines on these golf PGA Championship futures. Now let's do the recap. We're going to go all the way back to last Thursday, 5/12/22. I had the Lightning puck line minus 1.5 against the Maple Leafs, and the Lightning win the game 4-3. But they didn't cover the spread. So that's an L. I had the Blues puck line minus 1.5 against the Minnesota Wild. They beat them 5-1, so that worked out. That's a W. NBA had the Heat money line plus 115 against the Sixers. They beat them 99-90 to finish that series. Milwaukee Bucks. So then we move on to Friday then. We move on to Friday, 5/13. Thursday, I went 2-1. Friday, I went 0-2. We had the Bucks money line plus 115. They drop it 108-95 to the Celtics, and they lose Game 6 in the best opportunity they had to win that series and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And unfortunately, the Antetokounmpo jersey is going in the washer, and we're done with the Bucks this year. And the Steph Curry jersey will probably come out soon, and if not, it could be Luka Doncic. Moving on, I also had Drew Holiday in that game over 21.5 points. He only scored 17, so 2 losses on Friday. Unfortunately, that's an 0-2 Friday after a 2-1 Thursday. Moving on to the weekend, I didn't give you any bets for the weekend per se, but on This Week in Sports Betting prior, I believe it was episode 4, when we went over the NHL playoffs in depth and we went over this round of the NBA playoffs that had just ended now, I did take the Lightning at plus 100 to win the series against the Maple Leafs. That hit over the weekend. They beat them 2-1 Saturday to finish that thing out in 7 games. And then I did give you the Dallas Mavericks to beat the Phoenix Suns at plus 225. They finished that out in Game 7 in a commanding 123-90 victory. I knew when they were up 30 points in the first half, the game was over. And I was very happy because I had the Mavs money line in a non-public play, and I had the Mavs series in a public play. So with those two series bets going dubs, that gives me 2 wins over the weekend, 1 Saturday and 1 Sunday, which brings my 2-1 Thursday, 0-2 Friday, 2-0 Saturday, Sunday series bets. Put them all together. You got a 4-3 weekend. At that point, we're 17-24 for May. Still trying to get back to 500 for this month. It's been a little bit of a rough go. 185, 177, and 6 all time. And then we move on to Monday. This week in sports betting was a great show. If you didn't see it, please go back and check it out on BP311's YouTube. And, well, check it out on YouTube. I don't understand this Twitch thing, man. I know that I'm streaming on Twitch currently live right now, just like I'm doing it on YouTube. It's a multi-stream. I can do up to 2. As far as fitting people on the screen, I can get up to 6. I'm really trying to fill the screen one of these days on this week in sports betting and just haven't got to it just yet. That's why I invite as many guests as possible and just try to fill this thing up and just get as much content analytics your way, as many picks your way as we can get you. Because the more informed you are, the better you can become. That being said, I had 2 plays yesterday, both of them in Major League Baseball with the playoffs on hold for both NHL and NBA, and I gave you the Tampa Bay Rays run line -1.5, and they lost to the Tigers 3-2, so that's an L. The other game I gave you was the Cardinals money line, and it was +100 against the Mets. The game got postponed, and then it's going to be a doubleheader today now, right? And they keep moving these pitching matchups around, and it's just screwing me up and throwing me off. So that's a no play. I mean, obviously, I got my money back. It's a void. It's not even a push. It's a void. So we're not even going to count that. We will count the L, So 0-1 Monday, 17-25 for May, 185, 178 and 6 all time since I've been giving out public plays. I'm going to give you 3 official picks today. Go through a few ideas, parlays, things of that nature. Come back, recap the plays, and then we're going to get out of here. But I don't think there's a whole lot going on right now. Let me take a look. Yeah, 210. First pitch, first game of the day is at 2:10 in the Major League Baseball, so I got ahead of everything. White Sox and Royals start off in about 7 minutes, although I might still be going at that point. I don't know. We'll see. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Go back and check out episode 6 of This Week in Sports Betting for Monday. Great show, a lot of insight, especially in the NHL and NBA playoffs. And join us again on Friday. We're going to do This Week in Sports Betting, episode 7 on Friday. We're going to talk Preakness, horse racing. We're going to talk NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball, and potentially more depending on who we have. I'm going to stop giving out as many soccer plays just to make sure I have a pick in case I don't have my soccer guy. If he's on, we'll get you some soccer. If he's not, I'm probably not going to give you any plays. I have not done well on my own in that. Same thing with UFC. If we've got the guy, he'll go over it for you. If we don't, I'm probably not going to take a pick. Between soccer and UFC, I've lost a couple bucks trying to just make sure I give you the content that I promise. So I'm not going to promise as much. Here's the deal. BP311 and TJ Saltog are on for Friday. That I know for sure. Otherwise, I got feelers out, okay? I've invited Dulcetto, Matt Kowalas, Tanner Kern, and the coach. Depends on what time we do it. I know we're not going to get both Tanner and the coach. The idea is 6 p.m. There's potential that I move it to 3. It's up in the air. I'll get back to you. It's going to happen on Friday afternoon or evening. Exact time, not sure. 3, 6, one or the other. We'll get to it. Let's give you some plays for today. Official picks for Tuesday, 5/17/22. I really like the Seattle Mariners today on the money line against the Toronto Blue Jays. It's a +115, or at least it was when I got it. Now I'm seeing it at +120 over at MGM if you want to go and grab that. Game is on, 7 p.m. It's baseball, so stream it, babe. Logan Gilbert, 2.13 ERA, 4-1 start for the Mariners against Jose Barrios, 5.82 ERA, and a 2-2 start. Gilbert's looking good so far. And if the Mariners can bring the bats, which is the big question here, they can win this game. And I think I like plus money on Seattle. Doesn't bother me that it's in Toronto, and it's a 7 o'clock game. I only had one baseball and one NHL today, but I added a play, and I added the same play that I had last night that was postponed. With the pitching matchups moving around, I didn't want Matz on the mound for St. Louis. I wanted it to be McCollus. And it is now going to be the same pitching matchup as it was supposed to be last night. Miles McCullough, Trevor Williams. Miles McCullough, 1.49 ERA and a 3-1 start. Trevor Williams, 5.73 ERA and an 0-2 start. I love the offset pitching matchup. You're not going to get plus money this time. It's now minus 105 is really the consensus on that play. But I still don't mind paying less than a normal VIG for a team that I think is better with an off-balance pitching matchup in their favor. I don't care what the Mets' record is. I think the Cardinals win the first game today. I'm going to stay away from the second one in the doubleheader with Mets on the mound. So Cards minus 105 at Mets 310 MLB Network. Cardinals money line. Off-balance pitching matchup, in my opinion. And in the third game, we're going to go back to a St. Louis team. We're going to do it in the NHL. 9:30 tonight on TNT. Game 1, round 2. St. Louis Blues plus 1.5 on that puck line. Minus 122 over at Bet Rivers. I think it's minus 121 now. The line's barely moved. I think it's great value against the Colorado Avalanche in a game that I expect to be relatively high scoring. I'm not going to say St. Louis wins this game, although I did take them to win the series, and I liked that number as well. Let me give you that real quick if you didn't catch This Week in Sports Betting. There's a lot of great stuff on there that I'm not going to give you here, so I would really appreciate it and suggest that you go back and check that show out if you've got the time. I took Blues plus 290. I'm sorry. I took it plus 320. I'm seeing it plus 290 at DraftKings. I'm seeing it at some places plus 300 now. So, I don't know if they're going to win the game or not, but I think they're going to keep it close. They're going to set a tone. And if they can take one in Colorado, I really love their chances here. And I did bet a number to some degree, but I still think Colorado Avalanche are the Utah Jazz of the NHL, and they're going to flame out, no pun intended, at least in the Western Conference Final by the Flames, if not sooner, and I would love it to be sooner against St. Louis Blues. Those are the 3 plays today. I'll recap them at the end. Let me go over a couple of ideas, parlays that you might be interested in. I'd like to give out as much content as I possibly can here. Here's the golf stuff. Okay. I also have 2 plays for Wednesday, that I did go over on This Week in Sports Betting. So either you can go back and watch that, or you can wait till tomorrow, and I'll give those out here on the Weekday Sports Picks program. But I'm not going to give them out right now. So I did put a couple things together. I don't like this series, Heat Celtics. Like I said, I want the Heat to win. I have a little bit on the Heat. I have nothing on Boston. I think they're very inconsistent. I do not respect the Celtics. I have to some degree because they've gotten this far, but I just don't think they have the staying power. I don't think either one of the Eastern Conference teams are going to win everything, but I would love the Celtics to get out of the way and be done and over with, so I don't have to worry about them winning and me ending up eating all of that future money that I put on the NBA futures for the season. Anyway, I did this tonight, okay? I flipped the line. I put a parlay together. I did some things. I just thought some things up that I like, and I did it. And I laid a fraction of a unit on it, so it's an idea. But if you like it, run with it, tail it. 3+ 3-pointers for Tyler Hero, 20+ points for Jimmy Butler, over 7.5 rebounds for Bam Adebayo, and Heat plus 5.5 is what I did on an alternate there. I also put a couple things together. I was watching Bet the Day this morning. Go check that out on YouTube and TikTok with Tanner Kern. I checked him out this morning, had threw a couple comments down. He's liking the Diamondbacks and Dodgers game 2 over 7.5. So I tailed that, but I combined it with the Rockies play that I didn't take yesterday because the number changed. They went down. I didn't get a chance to get on here live when I wanted to and when I wanted to take it. Good thing because they lost 7-6. But I still think the Rockies can beat the Giants, and I think they can do so today. So I combined Diamondbacks, Dodgers over 7.5 in game 2 tonight with those 2 teams and the Rockies money line plus 144 against the San Francisco Giants together. 3.5 times plus 350. That Heat parlay was plus 500, by the way, if I didn't say that. It was so Tyler Hero 3+ 3s, Jimmy Buckets 20+ points, Adebayo over 7.5 rebounds, Heat plus 5.5 plus 500, D-backs and Dodgers game 2 over 7.5, and the Rockies money line plus 144 against the Giants combined plus 350. And that's it. Those are the 2 idea parlay plays. I gave you Spieth, Matsuyama, and Homa in the PGA Championship, and then the official picks. I gave you the Mariners money line plus 120 at the Blue Jays 7 o'clock. I gave you the Cardinals money line minus 105 at the Mets 310, and the St. Louis Blues puck line minus 1.5 minus 120. Plus 1.5 minus 122 at the Colorado Avalanche 9:30 tonight on TNT. A lot of good stuff going on, guys. We got baseball, we got hockey, NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, we got the NBA playoffs going on. We got the PGA Championship this weekend. The Preakness is this weekend. I don't know, there's always a UFC event going on, lots of great soccer action. So I'm going to get as many people as I can for Friday's show. I'm going to let you know about the time to confirm it, probably, hopefully tomorrow, if not Thursday. And we're going to come hard and heavy with This Week in Sports Betting, episode 7 on Friday, either 3 or 6. And if you've got a preference, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch, BP311 spelled out. Check me out on TikTok, abridged versions of the program, BP311 spelled out. And I might start giving more live plays on these shows, especially if I do them at night, and I may start doing that. And sometimes I do. So keep an eye out, keep the notifications bell on. And if I do a show at 10 p.m., I'm going to give you a live pick, live bet as well. With that being said, I think that's all for me. 20 minutes, 52 seconds. Let's get out of here at 21. Keep it profitable.